guys? Welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We're back for a new sort of series of shows, actually. Football's greatest rivalries, and where better to start than one of the probably biggest rivalries in the Premier League era, which was Arsenal and Manchester United. I think it goes back further than that, but for me, it grew obviously from the Wenger Ferguson rivalry, when at its peak it was basically the two giants going for the league title. We've got Amundi with me with us. How are you?
Yep, good. Thank you. Welcome.
Good,
Thanks
great.
for the invite.
No worries. We've got Matt from Football United TV. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing, mate? Blessed be the cheesemakers.
Talk, you a sponsor that?
Yeah, I don't think that's meant to be taken literally as regards to any manufacturer of dairy products.
Okay, we've got Reese, new to the channel. How are you, my friend?
I'm alright. How are you doing? And also, thanks for the invite to the channel. So this is going to be a blast.
Yeah, brilliant. I love how already I'm outnumbered about 4-1 here.
That's because we all know which fans are the best fans, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
shut up. Let's not.
Yes.
There we go.
You are the one-man gang.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my own.
I think it might be joint. I think though I've got a funny feeling, Stephen, that you're going to get some. You might get some backup. So we might have a bit.
Fair
of a,
play to you, though.
Yeah, you don't support
Fair
Man
play to you for doing this.
You don't support Man City. It's okay. You're not on your own.
No one does.
Yeah, who's that? We do have somebody who loiters around. I can't remember the guy's name now. Is it?
Oh, it wouldn't be Charlie.
Oh, that's him. Yeah,
Oh, we Charlie.
Whenever we talk to him, he plays the same song in the background all the time, and it's in Spiral Carpets. You know, This Is How It Feels. Great track. It's a great track.
Shut up.
Caught that one, Stephen.
This is all because I played a DT clip. This is literally all I did. Right? Fucking hell.
I thought you had a pet chihuahua named Socks. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Mick Foley called. He wants his socks back.
Yeah. Clean.
Preferably dry washed as well.
Yeah, very dry washed as well. Fuck off, you sunglasses for.
This is
Who's
how
wearing
it
the
feels to be
sunglasses?
city. This is how it feels to be small. This is how it feels when your club means nothing at all.
Good evening, Brethren John.
Good evening,
Yes.
brethren. Anyway, so yeah, where to start? I mean, I'm going to start with Talk Man U. I mean, obviously, it goes back further than just the Wenger Fergie era. So yeah, try and give us a bit, probably more background to this whole Man United and Arsenal rivalry.
Well, I mean, for me, that's what it's all about. Mainly, it is that is like when that's the peak of it. That is like, you know, it's before that. I don't think it was. It was always like it's just a case of the same like Leeds and Man United. You know, that kind of bitter sort of jealousy, shall we say, as it is for Liverpool. That, you know, bitter jealousy, as it is for Chelsea. Bitter jealousy, because we are the biggest, the best club in world football. End of story. Nobody can ever fucking deny us that. Nobody can ever take it that away from us. And that's simple. And people just didn't like it. And Wenger and Fergie, I mean, let's have it right. Fergie always got the better of those situations. He always got the better of them. You know, he was the master at head games. He always won. And I know there were seasons when you won it, but that was only because we were having an off season, right? You know what I mean? I'll just throw that in there.
Or going deep into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Or win it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say that though. I mean, the run, say like in 2002, from that was the first one I can remember because I was about 6 at the time, 7 at the time. The run that we had towards the second half of the season, we went on about a 14-game winning streak, which was for any club. I mean, even for Man United, was hard to compete with. So I think the second half of the season, we really earned a lot from the second half of the season to have a right to try and win that. And okay, we did win it. We won it at Old Trafford, and beautiful
That's
moment.
all
It's a
you've
beautiful
got.
moment.
Yeah,
I mean, but obviously, it's even then I didn't quite know the significance of that at being like such a young age. But when you then go up further and you see the domination that Man United had, and of course there's that jealousy and like, oh, why can't we be like that? Why can't Arsenal be as good as that? And if the fact of the matter is, Ferguson, as much as I never liked the guy because of the rivalry between the two managers, and there's that respect. I mean, there's that new film that they're going to bring out about Ferguson.
Yeah, man. I can't see that.
I mean, but as a fan and as a football fan, I want to go see that because how he dealt with everything, whatever was thrown at him, how he managed to be able to turn that around and get a team that, let's be honest, at one point he looked like one game away from getting the sack, to be able to be the all-dominant conquerors of Europe on 2 occasions is just absolutely outstanding. So yeah, that's as much as it for me is like, it's a very jealous sort of rivalry I have because I want to be just as good as Man United, and I'm sure every club in the country does. You have that level of respect, and I think you saw that towards the end of Wenger's the sort of reign. I think when it came, I think Ferguson was he was in hospital at the time, wasn't he? When they came, was it Wenger came to the Emirates, where Mourinho was manager at the time, and they presented him with something there, and just level respect at Old Trafford. And I think even the Man United fans stood up and applauded to that. So there's still that level of respect there. So,
Of course.
I mean,
for me,
yeah.
you know, you're talking about that with us, but you do have to consider what Wenger did for your club. You know, he came in and revolutionised what you were doing. You know, from what you was eating to when you was eating it to when you was waking up and everything in between it. You know, we weren't. I don't think we were at that stage at United. To be honest with you, I don't think we were actually doing as intense as Wenger was with that side of it. But I think we did obviously pick up and take things as time went on, you know. But yeah, I've got respect for all clubs because we banter's banter. You know, we all want to win. We all want to be the best. At the end of the day, when the players put them shirts on and go out on that pitch, they're representing me. They're representing me. They're going out there for me. You know what I mean? The working class man. They're going out there and saying, "Yeah, kid, I'm going out there to play for you. This is for you." So when they go out there and win, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, you know, but when it comes down to, you know, at the end of the day, it's you have to have respect for clubs, and for me, as much as it pains me to say it, one of the clubs I've got the utmost respect for is Liverpool, simply because they've, you know, they've stayed neck and neck with us. All right, I know there was this 30-year wait for a Premier League, but they've still got lots of league titles. They've got more Champions Leagues than us. They seem to be able to somehow continually. All right, forget this season just gone, where they seem to be able to struggle, but they always do well in Europe. You know, they always sort of.
That was the real jealousy as well. It's what you managed to do in Europe as well. And I think even though we had our best probably squad and season in 2004, and people still going about now and like, yeah, we went 30 games unbeaten. That's and as much as people mock it, it's an unbelievable achievement. But it's like I say to this now, if you had swapped one of those defeats against Chelsea in the Premier League to then win that game against Chelsea in the Champions League to get us through, because I think if we went through that, we would have won that tournament. We would have won it. And I would have swapped it in a heartbeat. I would have absolutely swapped it in a heartbeat. And if it's meant that we won our first, and that's even including the fact that we went to the Champions League 2 years later. And to be honest, how we managed to do that was unbelievable because we had, I think half the season we were playing it with kids. Really, I mean when we played Vieira at Juventus, and we were playing with Fabregas, who was about 17, 18 at the time. So we were playing with basically kids, and how we managed to get to a final with some of the, and we did it the hard way, playing Real Madrid, Juventus, and Villarreal, who were a very good side at the time. Was an outstanding achievement itself, but obviously, and the fact we didn't even concede a goal until the final, and we had some hard luck in the final, but the fact we even went 1-0 up with 10 men as well, but again, it's still that thing. I would that envy of I want to win a Champions League, and I'd swap any title to win a Champions League, and that envy of the fact that Man United have gone and have done it 3 times over. So I'm trying not to sound and trying to be so jealous about it.
Keep it coming.
Don't forget, there is a. You do have to take in an element of luck along the way in the Champions League. There is always that factor. You can't get there in the end without it. In my opinion, you know, if you look at, I mean, all right, the John Terry slip. I mean, you know, John Terry, for fuck's sake, when he stood there to take that kick, I was like, oh God, I was fucking wounded. I was feeling sick, and from feeling sick to feeling like, I don't know, like elated in a split second was just a strange sensation. Let me tell you, when he like, I seen it as soon as that ball left his boot, I knew it was going wide. I knew it. I know my heart actually stopped beating. And I was like, and it whooshed, then he went and he slipped on his ass.
Can we all agree to Charlie that watching the Champions League final is the most horrible game to watch in your life?
Let me tell you, yes, I will definitely. Charlie, I told Charlie already, and I messaged Jan City as well, and I've said, you are going to be feeling sick all that day. You're not going to concentrate on anything. You're going to feel sick. And there will be a moment, probably about half an hour just before the game, where you'll feel really calm and like, oh, I feel all right. But then as soon as it kicks off, your heart's going to start beating like a drum. Yeah, just it's a great thing to be a part of. It's the Champions League final. I just wish we could have managed, whilst Fergie was still at it, to bag a couple more. That would have been the ultimate. But you know what? It still did really, really well getting 2.
Yeah, and probably with City fans, they can hear their heartbeat as well because the stadium is empty, more or less.
Dang!
Yeah. I think I had a mouse fart once when I was there. I had a mouse fart.
Talked, man. Does any of you remember 1999?
Yes, welcome, Nuri. Of course. 99. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you my quick story of 99. Watching it with my missus, who I'm with now. She was pleased, obviously. And just before that first corner, I was like out of my mind. I was out of my mind, and I was like, oh, I was lying on the couch, and I'm praying, and I'm saying, please, Sir Matt, please help us, please give us something, just give us something. And when I was saying it and still doing it, whoosh, ping, ping, pong, and I'm looking, the commentator's going wild, and bang, it goes in. And I was like, wow. But forget it. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at that, Reese. Get in, my son. It was, bizarre. Just that on its own was bizarre. Never mind what happened afterwards. Christ, what happened afterwards?
Yeah. I think Rich Sports is going to come on. I'm going to ask Reese this. I think he knows this about. I remember '99 great Vieira assist in the semi-final.
The gigs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
And then, let's have it right though. Giggs still had an awful lot to do, and that clip just epitomises what Ryan Giggs was all about: the confidence, the vision, the balance, the technique. It was all rolled into one in that goal. It was just amazing.
Dixon, what you doing, man? Honestly, just take him down.
When you dribble at pace like that, usually someone should commit and go at him, but he can't. He's coming at too much pace. And he can go either way, just so quickly. So they were backing off, and let him come into the box.
They put out legs. The defenders put out legs like cats trying to bury a shit on a marble floor. Seriously.
I think the best thing about that replay, though, the best thing about that replay, though, is the fact that my goat scored.
Oh yeah,
That's a great goal.
My goat scored. They kicked it off, and I don't like that. That was how it was. That's the thing. I mean, I vaguely remember in '99 only because I was 2 years old at the time. But coincidentally enough, and Stephen's not going to like this later, my very first game that I ever remembered was the following season, and it was coincidentally my first Man United game as a fan was Manchester United 2, Arsenal 1 at Highbury. And it was Roy Keane that scored. Roy Keane scored a double in the second half. Giggs was absolutely phenomenal. So was Beckham.
Shot with Vieira at the time.
Yeah, we went on to win that game, and then we went on to win the league. 17 points clear, 18 points clear. I don't remember where Arsenal were at that point. I know they were second, but they were nowhere near.
We were second somewhere.
Did Sheringham score that game?
It was Roy Keane. Roy Keane scored twice.
Remember next season where were you?
Still top of the league. We won it 3 years in a row.
Oh, no.
Can I just say something? I say Arsenal for me. After '68 and Man United being the first English club to win Europe, when Arsenal won the double, that's the first time they've really done anything significant, really in modern day, post-war times. And then for me, my first memory is like Alan Sunderland in 1979. They beat us in the FA Cup. Got the winning goal. And his celebrations almost
all the stuff we did was
5-minute final,
30s, wasn't it? It was 30s with Chapman.
Yeah, that's way back. But his celebration was like the guy in 1982, the Italian in 1982 final. It's just iconic, pure joy, running like that. But Arsenal, I mean, George Graham's side, when Alex Ferguson took over, it was all about Liverpool and Everton. But George Graham, he won Littlewoods Cup against Luton in '87, I think it was. And he had all these brothers come through, like Rocastle Davis, and the strong defence. Tony Adams started to capture England. Lee Dixon, Winterburn. They had a really solid, strong tight side. And they were like, this boring Arsenal. Boring, because you played solid and had a little bit of flair up front. Merson was there. So towards the end of the 90s, obviously with what you did at Liverpool at Anfield, you became a really strong side.
Yeah. So
Ferguson not only had to overcome Everton, Liverpool, he now had to overcome a Arsenal side. Obviously, that dropped off after Graham, George Graham had done the bung business, But once you start with Wenger, I think he's really fortunate because he's come into English football and thought, wait a minute, I know this worlds of talent and I know them, I've brought them up, I've groomed them all up. I just take my pick, Vieira, Anelka, eventually, all these guys he knew, Petit, who we didn't have a clue about.
Henri.
Eventually, he got
what signing for Arsenal.
Perez.
Yeah, but you have to remember, this is what I think with Wenger. He knew because he grew up in France. And what's the French academy called?
Monaco.
Gerald.
Not the.
What they call it? The French.
What's that famous school one?
Yeah. The French.
I remember.
I can't remember the name, but I know which one you're talking. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, Vieira, Henri was
Gerald, Wenger. They all had a say in all this, and they're all involved in all this. So they know all the talented young players coming through. And there was
Clairefontaine Academy.
Clairefontaine, yeah, that's the one. So since 1982, French football has been really pushed, and they've won 2 European Cups, 2 World Cups in that period since 1982. Granted, one was at home. Was it at home? No, that wasn't at home. It was in Portugal, wasn't it? I think in 1984. But anyway, so he had this pick of best players. And so that was his scouting system because he'd worked with these guys. So is Vieira available? AC Milan. Yeah, come along. Cheap deal. So he was blessed in that sense. So their side was unbelievable. If you tweak a good side like Arsenal, which they already were, and bringing these top players like that who were ready to go, they were a force. And to be honest, from whenever Wenger came in, he won a double second season, didn't he? He's made my heart race. They was that good, electric.
Yeah, I've always said that Arsenal. I've always said his best player Wenger's best player. I've always said people say it's Henry. For me, I disagree. I think his greatest ever player wasn't even a player he signed. It was Bergkamp. I think that's his best ever player because he transformed what Wenger's vision for Arsenal is built on. It's built on him.
It's a good shout, Bergkamp. I think obviously Bergkamp's a world-class player. World-class. I mean,
hi.
He does bits. Yeah. Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Stephen, can you just swap me in a moment?
I forgot to put
I'm
you
just
on.
thinking.
Hold on.
No, I was just thinking if I didn't join the stream, probably Stephen would be hosting his first Manchester United show. Everyone talking about Manchester United, and there would be barely anything to talk about with respect to us. But I think overall,
Anthony, you're not coming on holding that up. Take it off now.
Hold on. Go on, Nitish.
Hello. What's your name? Top right. What's your name?
Nitish. Be on the post, Nitish.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you guys as well.
Very funny.
He's holding something.
That looks a bit stiff.
That's his pet chihuahua socks, by the way.
A bit stiff, did you say?
This is what he gets up to on a daily basis, Anthony, you see.
Roll over socks. Roll over socks. Good boy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Nitish. What were you saying, mate?
No, I was saying one of the things that could have happened better for us is if he had won a Champions League title, probably Wenger wouldn't have overstayed as much as he did. Maybe he was desperate to get back into maybe Champions League contention and probably prove his haters wrong that we were not just a round of 16 knockout side. And one of the things that he wanted to do was win the Champions League. Every manager has a dream that I want one Champions League title at least. And maybe that just got him from being there to desperate at the end of his career. And he kept going on, and it didn't get any better for him overall. And the other thing is, I think, again, the league thing also, things changed in the league with the money coming in. Wenger couldn't cope with that, but he had a few good opportunities. I think that Leicester season was the main one. That when he came out and said that we don't need another backup striker, we got Giroud, we got Walcott, and we got Yaya Sonogo as our backup. I think that summed it up, and that was the end of everything good that anyone thought that probably was going on at Arsenal.
I just like how you've lined it up. You've just got Stephen and four faceless wonders, and you've got us four at the bottom going, "What the fuck's going on?"
I felt like planet Earth going around the bloody sun there. I was like, here and there, everywhere.
I was like, are you just like segregating the United fans from everybody else? Is that what's going on here?
No, I think
you've still got two on top.
There's too many of us.
Needs to become an Arsenal fan for the evening.
No.
I think Steven knows that we are not doing well, so this is the only place where Arsenal will probably be above Manchester United right now.
Well said, Nitish.
That's probably the closest you're going to get above us for the next 5 years, maybe a decade.
That's about as high in the
table. Especially if Nitish has his way with the manager.
I don't want to get into the Arteta in and out debate again.
You know what Nick was just saying about the Champions League? It's really unfortunate they got 10 men against that Barcelona side. They were on the course. I think they should have won it. I was just talking earlier. I was having a conversation. It's funny you should say this. Talking about Sol Campbell. And Sol Campbell, I don't remember in 1998, he scored a header against 10 men, but Beckham got sent off against Argentina. It was a tough game. He scored a header. We got disallowed for Shearer, done a little push. And then he was really unfortunate because he could have gone far in that World Cup. And it's the same like with the Champions League final against Barcelona. They had 10 men when they were on course to win it. In their peak, that was their time.
It happened twice to him, didn't it, for England? He had a header against Portugal as well, I think, in one of the games. And that was
penalty. There was a penalty.
The Euros, like two disallowed goals during his Arsenal career. Yeah.
Oh, man. For England, Sol Campbell, you're talking about for England?
Yeah, twice. It happened to him
Oh, Campbell,
twice.
not Campbell.
I don't remember the other one.
Both times gives me pure joy.
It was Sol Campbell that put us 1-0 up in that Champions League final. With that head. And we were 10 men down. And people think we weren't 10 men down at that point. We were 10 men down at that point.
Yeah, we were.
I just want to bring this back. I just want to bring this back to something and just say I would hate to be an Arsenal fan.
It's
all right. Calm down. Like, come on.
I'll say this as well, though.
Okay.
I'll say this as well. Seeing that final, he made the wrong sub. Seeing that champion, I'll say this as like from a rival's perspective. From a rival's perspective, I actually think he made the wrong sub in that final.
You should call him Walk MU. That's what you should call him.
Hold on. What was you saying, Reece?
Sorry, what are you saying about the wrong sub?
Yeah,
I was saying in that Champions League final when they lost to Barcelona, I actually think he took off the wrong player. I think he should have kept Pires on. I think he should have took off one of his midfielders. 100%. He took off Pires for flaming Almunia, whoever it was, like that overrated goalkeeper. Like, I think they took off the wrong player. I think they did.
I don't agree because Thierry Henry still had chances to score. He didn't take his chance. He didn't take his chances.
You keep Henry on. I'm saying like you should have taken off a midfield, one of the midfielders. Like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying we had more chances to score. We didn't take them.
To be 10 McLaughlin 35 walks.
I mean, Tony spent 2-1 with 10 men. That's still shows how good that Arsenal side were against a top Barcelona side. So yeah, I was just disappointed. When you get like you want to see 11-11, you want to see the best against the best without that kind of thing. But yeah, it's really unfortunate, really.
It says all that they held on until a substitute came on and decided the game, and that was Larsson.
Yeah. Our boy Larsson, United's boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't count him. I don't count him for the club he played up here. I don't count that. But I'll count him for Man United, obviously.
So can I ask a question, please, to the Arsenal guys? Obviously, Arsene Wenger came in and started signing some good players. Where did it go wrong? Because there came a period where no, I'm serious. Because you bought some signings that were like Fabregas, up until Fabregas and that, Van Persie, all these guys. What happened to your scouting system?
What happened? What happens to we moved when we moved to the Emirates? We were sold a dream of we're
challenging Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we're gonna be competing with the likes of Bayern Munich. Yeah. More like we're gonna be eating Bayern Munich's dust.
The funny thing is, you were challenging them at Highbury.
Yeah, we were challenging them. Yeah, I know. We moved to the new stadium, and what happened was that we bought these little owners called the Conkies, right? These little owners start putting shares in, right? And then Wenger decided to become a yes man, right? And started.
You know what's beautiful, real about Arsenal's downfall is. Thierry Henry, I don't know if you can remember it, but Thierry Henry on Monday Night Football, he got asked about Arsenal's downfall when it all went wrong, and he blames it all on Cesc Fabregas.
Really? How does he justify that?
It's on Monday night. It's on Monday Night Football. If you go back, it's him, Carragher, and that clown presenter that's no longer on it anymore, and Gary Neville, and they're all talking about Arsenal's downfall. And he's like, for me, it's when Wenger started playing like Barcelona. He made Fabregas.
Oh yeah. I do know. I've heard that.
And I'm like, all right, fair enough.
So what's the problem is when Wenger, when the Conkies didn't invest in the club and didn't put any money in to stabilize, keep the players that we had, which he could have done. Right, Wenger made excuses for it, and then decided started gradually because of that saying, because we've got to pay off the stadium, we can't buy for players. We have to just get into top four. We just have to get into top four. And then start coming out with stuff like, top four is like a trophy. So, because that meant it gave the Conkies extra 20 million to what they wanted. So it meant they kept him in a job. So it gradually after then, and we started selling our best players off like Van Persie. And who sells your best player?
By the way. Thank you for
I
giving
know.
us
When I heard Van Persie went to Man United, I was like, okay, you're done. He's not my manager, right? That is not a manager of mine, right? Who sells to your biggest rivals? Right? Who goes?
You do.
We welcome you for such. We welcome you for such greatness.
Yeah, but hang on. But
we welcome you for that.
Ferguson
so does Barcelona.
But Wenger hates Ferguson, right? Hang on. But
how good is this?
But Wenger
Hey, we will give you Alexis Sanchez all over again.
But Wenger hates Ferguson, right? Wenger hates him. What do? You give him a striker that ends up winning them title.
This is how you define it, right? And I'll just quickly say, Shane, no, I like Gary Neville as a pundit. It's the presenter that I hated. I can't remember his name. He's just a clown. But this is what's so beautiful about the Van Persie signing at Man United, right? He was told that he wasn't needed anymore, that they could go without him. And then the best part is he wins us the league, scores a quality goal against Villa, but you give him a guard of honour.
Yeah.
We would never give a guard of honour Liverpool, but Arsenal would give us a guard of honour. Thank you very much.
Hello, King Saint.
I think Saeed is
champion.
Let's say. Hold on. Let's say.
Go on. And then we'll let René go.
I'm not doing well at all. I hate all this nostalgia thing we are going back to. I don't like this at all.
Yeah. He hates the past.
Can you just give us a summary of your Man United Arsenal experience?
Yeah, jokes aside, for me, when I grew up, Man United and Arsenal, it was the greatest rivalry for me back then. For me, those games were even more intense than Barcelona, Real Madrid. I mean, it was sweat, it was blood, it was passion, it was quality, it was everything you wanted in football. You had it in those games. And on top of that, it was the two best teams in England, two of the best teams in the world, two of the best managers in the world. It was just wonderful to watch those games. And obviously, one of my favorite games is the Invincible season when Van Nistelrooy misses the penalty and you have the fight after the game.
Why? You bring up my favorite striker in such disrespect.
Right? That's not. I should just go through on. I should just go put my Van Nistelrooy kit on. I got a Van Nistelrooy kit.
But you could have ended. It was a 90-minute penalty, and you could have ended it right there.
Yeah. Sorry, we didn't even end you anyway. I mean, it was Van Nistelrooy that ended your unbeaten run anyway, so we'll just remember that.
If you did, it would probably made Arsene Wenger focus on the Champions League more.
We're Man United. We love giving to charity. We love giving to charity.
Yeah, I bet Howard Webb can agree with that.
I mean, we've been given charitable donations to Arsenal for years. I mean, I can remember in the 2011-12 season we smashed his 8-2. I mean, we done you a massive favour that day.
And was it
because we exposed
the Mikhail Silvestre as a collateral.
Exactly.
Stephen, can you just mute Reese? Can you just mute him? Don't let him.
He won't do it.
Who?
Reese, don't let him speak anymore.
The shirt says enough, mate.
He won't do it.
The shirt says enough. You can mute him all you want. He's wearing the right kit.
But to be fair,
I should go match Reese.
But then, to be fair, honestly, if you actually did,
for me,
I would just say, if you actually did win that game, we wouldn't have had the unbeaten one to look forward to. Maybe we got to play Chelsea in that quarterfinal, and then maybe we would have focused Chelsea more in the quarterfinal, which meant we would have gone on and won the Champions League. And then maybe
you might have won the League Cup.
Yeah, well, we weren't really bothered about the League Cup back then. Now we worry about everything.
Yeah, it's funny, but for me, going into when Arsenal's downfall happened, I think it's two major things. One of them is Roman Abramovich buying Chelsea. I think that was something that nobody could have predicted. I think if Roman wouldn't have bought Chelsea, we would have probably retained the title the year after the Invincibles, and we wouldn't have lost Ashley Cole to Chelsea.
I will just say his first season though. His was in 03-04 because they spent 128 million that season, and we spent only that 20 million. So his first season was 03-04, so it took him 2 seasons and Mourinho to actually go and do it.
Let's just remember, right?
Hang on, can I talk? Can I just quickly?
No, there was Ranieri at that point.
The word yet? So,
go on.
René. What did you want to say about like Arsenal's downfall? How great Man United are? How shit we are? And like this whole sort of mad rivalry. I do
miss the rivalry. I remember absolutely hating playing Arsenal. How big it was, how intense it was, like how good Arsenal were for so long. We were just as good, and it's just a shit show now. It's like a scrimmage almost half these times, depending on which team shows up.
It's not the same anymore.
No, it's not. But I still have to thank you for giving us Van Persie, though. How kind of you for what, 24 million pounds?
Now look after he made a statement first, and we all ridiculed him for that. Now looking at it, you're thinking, you got a point. Actually, there is no ambition at the club, so. But I don't actually blame him, to be honest. I don't like the guy, but I don't blame him.
But it's just not you, and it's just not us. You see it with a lot of these clubs anymore. They're more about being a business, and rather not investing into the stadiums, into the fans, into anything. Like, I mean,
we had with everybody that with the Super League, didn't we? With the Glazers and Conkies were involved in this. The whole thing.
And honestly, the only thing they did with the ESL was unite the footballing world. Like, nobody wants to see that shit. I don't want it. Honestly, let's be honest. United and Arsenal go into that. We're not winning shit. We're already not winning shit in the EPL. We're gonna get our ass handed to us. You're gonna get your ass handed to you. I mean, you guys are awful compared to us, and we're inconsistent as hell. And it's like, we can't beat City. We're not gonna beat City for the title. Like, even if we were close with the likes of City, Real, with Barca. Anything, in Milan, anything, like, we're not doing shit. We're mid-table at the bottom. We're not gonna do anything, but they're not worried about that. And that also reflects even how we're all playing right now, as far as our current teams are. There's no urgency to better any of these clubs, and until that's gonna stay that way until we get our point across. Obviously, we've all made a statement. As fans across the world have started to protest. Like, we're getting ready to start doing shit here in the States. Like, it's a lot easier for you guys in England to go protest than it is for us. Like, we have a bigger area to go around. We're trying to do what we can here, as far as being online. And it's like Connor is getting shit done in California. Fucking Brits down in Texas trying to get shit. I'm trying to get stuff down here, over here in the Midwest, going somewhere. To start something, because we have to do something. It's not going to stop until we fucking put a stop to it and we get that 50+1.
Yeah, I hear that.
I do not have the gray kit. Thank you. I do have I'm not buying it. I did have the 9092 on, but I was like, I got to match Reese, and also melting now because it's hot. But
to be fair, I mean, as like you said about how we united the fans. I was even saying, I went on Tommy's channel, who's a Spurs fan, who was talking about just general top four stuff, and even I suggested like even if like it had come down, that I would go protest for Levy out, right? Get them out, because it's all the same thing. So I even backed like Tottenham on that. I mean, and that's worse why winning this. So.
I would just request you to wait for a few days, because Harry Kane apparently is going, Son may be going, so they are anyways going down. Even Everton is looking to sign Harry Kane, as per the news today.
Apparently, Harry Kane's going everywhere, and everybody's just going to have a piece of him. And this depends on who he's going to play for that week, I guess. But
hold on. That's all right.
He'll stay in the Premier League.
Yes.
He'll stay in the Premier League.
If Harry Kane's leaving Tottenham, there's only one place he's going, and that's
City. I was like, I want him with us, but I think City's going to make him in for him.
No. You tell him why would he want to go to City?
I thought he was going to go to Lille.
No, he's going to Man United, mate. If he's going to leave Spurs, he's coming to Man United. I guarantee it.
The only place you could risk to see him going, right? The only place you could risk to see him going is PSG, because if he survives the season, Pochettino.
He's already been at Arsenal.
I don't mind him going to Manchester United, because I don't know whether that is actually a good thing for you guys or not.
Yeah.
Right. Listen. Hold on. We were talking overnight about is Harry Kane good class? If he's going to stay in England, the only way he's going to become a world class player being associated with a world class club, which is Man United.
Yep.
Simple as that. Why would he go to City? You go to City for the money.
But we're 27. We've seen whether he's a world-class player or not. I don't think he is.
No. I know what you're saying.
The only way Kane will get signed, right? I think this was going to happen. Sorry to interrupt there. I think the only reason Kane will get signed by Man United is if Chelsea sign Lukaku first. Like as a response, I don't see Man United starting this whole situation of the clubs going to get a top striker because we've already got Cavani.
We don't need one.
I don't see anything happening. Exactly.
You've given Cavani like the go ahead to like have like the fans there applaud him, El Matador and all that, and then you're going to bring in another striker. I just can't see it working out.
Our focus is a CDM and a CB, like at least 2 apiece.
And a right winger.
Yes. Because I mean, if Cavani's not playing, we can push Mason up top.
Dortmund just confirmed today that Haaland isn't leaving, so City and Chelsea will be now looking at probably Kane.
I expected Haaland to stay. Marco Rose will get him for 1 year.
I mean, it's another. I mean, and Anthony, what would you say? Would you say that Kane would go to Man United, or what club do you think he would go to?
Harry Kane, I think he'd go to Real Madrid because Tottenham ain't going to want to sell him to another Premier League team.
Okay. Is he going to do better than Bale?
No, I reckon. I think he'd be all right over there. I mean,
Bale didn't do shit anyway, so.
But that would actually make sense if they do a swap deal for Kane and Bale and some money as well. I think that could make sense.
Nah, I don't see Kane going to Real Madrid. I mean, we all know what Real Madrid
Benzema.
is. You go to
you get Benzema.
You go to Real Madrid, you take a massive risk. You have one bad game, the fans turn on you, and that's you. You're done.
Yeah, but you're in the sun, you're in the lounger. Like after that, you're getting paid £300,000-400,000 a week.
Cool. Like Bale, just get paid to play golf.
I think you'd risk just see him go to. I think the only one I can risk think of is if it's not an English club. If no English club bothers to cough up the money, because one way or another, even though he is a twat, Daniel Levy will get premium payment on Kane. The guy might be a clown, but he is very smart when negotiating. He will get top dollar for them. But what I do think is if he doesn't go to another Premier League club, I would hope it'd be Man United, but Cavani's there. I think he will go to PSG because it's the Pochettino link.
Yeah. Also, I want to touch on this, and I'm not 100% sure if I want to agree with it or not, but going to Bayern to replace Lewandowski, I'm like,
Bayern doesn't spend that money.
Bayern, I mean, they're not gonna. I don't know if they would even sign another striker. I mean, I am a Bayern fan. It's like
their record spend is 80 million.
You're not going to spend 120
and I don't think he's going to go there. And as long as and as long as they have Louis, they don't need a striker. Fucking Busquets. What?
Lewandowski will keep going for like another 3 or 4 years. Like them.
Busquets.
He is good enough.
And I was like Busquets. I was like, but Louis is just absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Fucking good lord.
I think Harry Kane, he has to blame himself. He didn't need to sign a 6-year deal with Spurs. That was just unnecessary. He had all the cards. He could have signed a 3 or 4 year deal or said, I'm leaving.
I think it's because he thought he would win something with Spurs.
They were successful.
Yeah, but still, even if he won something, they would have wanted to renew that deal again. So it still didn't make any sense why he signed 6 years. It's not
I think Tottenham would like that though, because if you're signing a longer deal, it means that people are always going to be interested in buying you, and you ain't going to have like a sort of like a 1 year left. You know what I mean? Like Varane's got at the moment, and they thought in maybe in them 5 years that someone would actually put in a bid, and then they could get like a cash crop of like 150 mil or 200 mil. Say it right now, probably maybe 200 mil, like straight out.
No.
For Harry Kane.
Can we also, in today's market, what do you think Harry Kane's valued at, guys?
20p.
130 million.
80
I
million.
would say over 100 mil, yeah.
I think it's not 180. If I read, I think based on because of the COVID and stuff, it will be around 80 to 100 million. It's not going to be more than that.
Never.
I would say about 115 to 140 mil. Depending on what they get for him. Like, I mean, obviously that's not a solid number, but he's going to get what he's going to get from him. And if somebody really wants him, that's the thing, is someone already wants him, and they're going to pay up the ass to get Harry Kane. But I mean, are we going to pay at the ass for
think-
Harry Kane? Are we going to fucking do it? I doubt it because we don't
I
sign
don't see
anybody.
United doing that.
We're not going to do it.
If the price was around
Harry
150,
Kane.
if the price was around 150 million, I don't think Everton would be anywhere near that. The story.
No,
Harry Kane is not going to Everton. That's just media.
I don't see that. No,
That's just
Everton's on
media.
that. No.
He
If it was
wouldn't
80
be
to 100
Tottenham
million,
to go
if
to
it-
Everton.
So even
if it
with,
was
so with
80
that
to
price
100, we would.
range, with that price range, we're only talking about a few clubs that can afford him. Then
Well,
Yeah, and that's
the criteria would have to be Champions League football and someone who can afford him, and someone who can take him to the next level.
Real's broke. Barca's
Madrid.
broke. So it's PSG.
We know Real and Barca, bro. Yeah, we worked
So
that one.
it's
Yeah, but
gonna. Who else is gonna pay for him? Atletico.
Yeah,
China. China.
Fine.
I think one
just
issue
gonna
with
go-
wouldn't get
Harry
injured.
Kane-
I just
You
want
wouldn't get injured in China.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
quickly.
And he'll
just
win
wanna
something.
quickly Say,
Hold on.
just want to quickly say, everyone, do hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button, hit that share button as well. And thanks for all tuning in. All your views does help raise the money for charity. So thank you very much. It really does. So yeah, gonna move on. So I'm gonna go to each one of you. I'm gonna ask for your 3 best players from your club, right?
Currently.
All time.
Oh,
Right?
woohoo! It's on.
So I'm gonna go all the way to me last. Renee, we'll start with you.
My top 3 for United: Van der Sar, Giggs, and Keane.
Okay, Matt.
My favourite Man United players of all time. That is a difficult one. I love.
3.
You know what? I'm going to pull one out of the hat that you might not like agree with. Andre Kanchelskis. Was a favourite. I loved him as a winger, man. He was so good when I started supporting. Scholesy and Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
Okay. Reese.
In my lifetime, Beckham #1, Van Nistelrooy, then Scholes. Not for my lifetime, it would be George Best #1, Sir Bobby Charlton. Then it would be an outsider, Norman Whiteside.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Good shout.
My lifetime, #1 Brian Robson, #2 Paul Scholes, #3 Sparky.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
And without your
Good
lifetime?
shout. What did I do without?
Just in general?
Sorry?
Oh.
And just in general, if it weren't your
Oh,
lifetime?
all time. Who I think
Yeah,
the greatest are? Duncan Edwards, I'd put in there, George Best, and Bobby Charlton.
I didn't
Dennis
say
Law
that.
was great, but yeah.
I didn't either. So go ahead, Matt.
King Law.
Yeah, but
God.
it's what
Like,
you know. When you hear
I-
people talking, you get that feel that these guys were great.
King Law as well.
Renee, you go. Renee, you go, and I'll go
Say
quickly.
Okay, so before my lifetime would be Edwards, Charlton, and Best as well.
Yeah, Dennis Law for me all the way. Dennis Law, even though he was a little bit of a traitor when he got
Oh,
us
good.
relegated,
Yeah.
but he was a legend. There you go, Stephen. There you go.
Okay. Talk menu.
He's muted. It looks like.
Talk menu. He's probably. He's
I don't
Is
want to
it-
know.
anyway.
Unless he pulled a Jamie. Unless he
Anyway,
pulled a Jamie. And then just talked to himself for 10 minutes.
Hello, sorry. What was that? I missed it. I went to the loo. Sorry.
Your all-time.
It was the sun rising.
It's the sun rising, mate. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning.
Was it?
Yeah. Time for you to go to work. Your all-time top 3 players
What for Man United?
for Man United.
Yeah.
Not for Arsenal, would it? And let's start supporting Arsenal, mate.
All-time top 3 player. Right. Okay. Firstly, Duncan Edwards.
Yeah.
Secondly, George Best.
Yeah.
Thirdly, Bobby Charlton.
Woo!
Okay.
God damn it.
Your current, or your lifetime, during your lifetime.
Yeah, during your lifetime. Go on as well.
During my lifetime. So, yeah.
Don't say
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Bebe. Don't
No.
you say Bebe.
No. Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Scholes, and Ryan Giggs.
Yeah. Even though he's a piece of shit off the field, it's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking more like
favorite man.
Yeah, I was thinking you would say more like Nani Anderson and someone else.
Oh, Anderson.
Rooney's up there as well. Like Rooney's up
Mr.
there as well. But
Yeah,
just-
Plaza. Yeah, I'd take Plaza. Yeah. I mean, I had to say Keno over Van Nistelrooy, even though Van Nistelrooy is my favorite striker. But Keno, man, fucking Keno.
Stephen, I was really hoping that you were going to ask the opposites what their favourite Man United players were as an Arsenal perspective and vice
Could
versa.
do that as another way around. But
Yeah.
could do that
Come back
afterwards.
round when you finish.
Yeah, come back round with it afterwards. Could do that afterwards. Actually, say go on.
For me, it would be David Rocastle, Ian Wright, Tony Adams.
Oh, what? Donkey.
Yeah.
to be honest, I'll admit, like Tony Adams is one of the centre backs in the Premier League. I've got so much respect for. I can't help. I can't lie about that.
What, guys? Why do you respect a guy who's like an alcoholic? No, come on now.
Well,
I respect
it just because of what he did as a centre back. I think you can't ignore what he achieved. But he's not a good human being. Like,
do you remember what Van Basten did to 88?
No, but don't Manchester United fans love Eric Cantona as well?
Well, to be fair,
Cantona's king.
Was Cantona alcoholic?
No, but he had.
To be fair, you can say that. You can say
I don't think we should look from a player. I don't think we should look at a player's perspective when it's on the field. I think we should leave the personal point of view out. But I get where you're coming from. But I choose to think about the player and what they did in the field.
There's so many that did back then. It was the nature of the game.
But was he that good? Was Tony Adams that good? I don't think so.
I think he was a brilliant leader.
Yeah, I think
on the pitch.
Yes.
That goal he scored for Arsenal, they won the league. And he had his hands.
Hey guys, remember the Euros in '88? And Tony Adams came in as a new young sensation. What's the name? Van Basten ripped him apart, left him on his ass. This is like levels,
Van Basten
man.
is the best striker in the world, though.
Yeah, but his levels.
That was back in his career.
You're bigging up Tony Adams. I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just born in '88, so no, I don't remember. But
I've got more respect. Like, to be fair, I think Sol Campbell was a better defender, but I still respect, like, in terms of Tony Adams as a leader. But
Marco Van Adams.
Fair, when the season after Van Basten.
Can I continue?
Yeah, I was just gonna quickly add there's that when Adams left the season after he left, which was 2003, we didn't have that same leadership in defence, and it was what cost us in the end. Plus, if I'd rather go on just about the fact of football talent, because I could quite easily when you say George Best, it really does. It throws alarm bells to me because like that's the surgeon who's done both his transplants has done mine. So. Yeah.
Oh shit!
He's done the same surgeon. He's done all 6 of mine.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So that's why I try and.
Yeah, let's keep off of that.
I'll keep leaving it
you're
to
good,
that.
man.
I'll leave it to the football.
You're good, man.
I respect what he's done as a player, but I can't.
All right, who's next?
No, I want to hear the last.
I'm not done.
Said Rocastle.
Oh, my bad, dude. I didn't know if you're done.
Yeah. Say go on.
Yeah. Just a small point regarding Tony Adams. I'm not going to go into his private life, but I think Tony Adams as a footballer, he reminds me a bit about Gary Neville. They're not the most technical gifted players, but they give to the team the passion. They're always available, and the trophy that they won, you can't talk that down.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
International.
We haven't had a good right back since Gary Neville, put it that way.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
Where is he in 1990 in the World Cup? Where they
I was too busy swimming. I was too busy swimming to answer that question.
Let me say, in 1988, he got ripped by Van Basten and Russia and Ireland. Okay, in 1990, he wasn't even there, or he didn't play. I don't think he got to the squad. In 1992, they didn't even qualify. In 94, they didn't qualify. This is Adams' peak years.
Yeah, but Mr. Juma, first of all, let me just make this clear. I'm not English, so I don't support England. So for me, I just rate what he's done for Arsenal as a player.
I'm talking about international football. There's a level above, supposed to be a level above the league. So I'm saying if you're really that good, I like him, think he's decent, but I don't think he's that good because I'm looking at him as an international player as well. Whether I support England or not, I don't.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at him those levels.
Yeah,
They
but-
didn't make England weren't making it to tournaments, and when he did,
But some
88. Look at the highlight reel.
No, but what has any other
yeah, but
player
then,
mainly done
that's
in
like
recent times for England?
that's like me saying that Steven Gerrard isn't that good because he never won anything with England and he didn't win the league.
No, not at all.
He never won the Premier League. He never
That's
won
not
anything.
at all.
with
Not at
England.
all. There's no denying Steven Gerrard's a great player. We can all see that. I'm just saying, I don't think Tony Adams. I think he's a bit overrated. Because the only thing you can endorse him on, he's a great leader. You know what I'm saying?
He was a good defender.
He's a great defender. Based on what
Gerrard won a Champions League, didn't he? So
Yeah.
But Tony Adams won like 5 league titles, didn't he?
5.
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He won 5 league titles. That's what I'm
How
saying.
many was he aware of? I'm sorry.
He was so good, he didn't need to be sober.
This is science.
Really? Did he win 5?
Oh, killed him.
Yes, yes, he did.
Damn! Ooh, the savagery in this fucking
Let's just
panel.
remember there's a bit of
Good.
banter going on here.
Yes.
So,
Oh
That's
my
fine.
God.
Load it up. Anyways,
My three modern favorites are Sol Campbell, Patrick Vieira, and Thierry Henry.
Thank you. Can you relay the message? I mean, it's been 22 years, but you tell him thank you for that nice assist for Giggsy. Wonderful assist. I mean, it's beautiful.
Mean.
Or when he
Very
told
mean.
Keane to get stuffed in a tunnel.
Oh, yeah, well, there's one where there's
I'm just gonna
where
remember all the goals Henry scored against United.
Oh,
God,
don't.
was it really flicked it over his shoulder, then spent it into the top bins? Right?
Fucking Barthez.
Was it
Barthez
Ferguson?
was a oh my god.
What did
Barthez
Ferguson
used
say?
to gift goals.
Was it
Barthez
Hang on,
didn't
was it
have any
Ferguson said-
business.
What did Ferguson
Barthez
say?
is the
It's a
Phil
fluke.
Jones of goalkeepers.
Hang on. What was it? What was it?
No,
Ferguson
he's
said? I think Ferguson said, "Oh, it's a fluke. It's a fluke. You can't come with something
Did
like
he
that." Yeah, it's basically like that.
Barthez was I think he's worse
Barthez,
than Phil.
yeah, agree. Barthez wasn't that.
He's
He
like
was
he's like fuck off.
One
off,
game
dude.
sums
I
up
remember
one
when-
game
when
sums up
him and-
Barthez as a Man
I
United
remember when
goalkeeper.
him and Henry
Real
went
Madrid.
Britannia FA Cup.
Oh my god.
I remember when him and if it was the Worthington Cup, him and Henry went for a ball. Right, he got to the ball first. It went under his feet, under his arms. and Henry came out the other side.
Yeah. Was that?
And then
Was
There's
that?
one
the
good
other
thing
where he
about him, though.
passed it,
Penalties.
and that was just, in the same game. He passed it straight to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
He
a
forgot
nightmare for a
they were not playing
goalkeeper
for
for
France.
us.
I just keep moving and I'm just
Who's next?
Fiat Natish, go on.
So
Probably say
there are.
Arteta.
I wanted to say it just to rub it into you, but anyways, there are many, but I have shortlisted 3 each. So the recent ones that I've seen: Tony Adams, Bergkamp, and Henry,
Yeah.
and the old ones: Rocastle, Ian Wright, and David Seaman.
Seaman was ridiculous
Interesting.
back there, man.
Interesting
Yes.
shouts.
I was like, Seaman.
Oh, Stephen. I
How
forgot.
old-
Sylvain
how old-
Beltoud.
How old are you guys? Give your age as well, by the way, because it's
I'm
hard.
26.
24.
I'm 32.
Okay.
I'm
33.
I'm 20 with 12 years experience in life.
I'm 24 with such vast knowledge.
You say 20 with 12 years of experience in life, and yet you chose Arsenal.
Yes. Yes. Oh, murder. Murder, she wrote.
Somebody get him a casket. Fucking shit.
Oh, good.
I was gonna
You're supposed to be on my side.
And that obviously that wasn't the case. Oh my god. Burn. You need to take. You don't even. You need ice. You need an ice bath for
I
that.
think he's
burn.
Even you're blocking the
Right.
fish from the
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. There's no coming back from that.
Hang on, was it? I said, oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm 18 with 8 years extra of life.
Oh my god. So, yeah, I
So
just,
you still chose
I'm
Arsenal.
18, but
you still chose Arsenal. Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
I'm 18 and Stock County for 8.
I get the feeling I've heard enough Arsenal banter that I can banter my own club as well if I need to.
It just shows the seriousness of Arsenal when their fans start bantering their own club and it's not rivals. The rivals just sit there and just laugh.
Well, it's almost like watching the Brazil Germany game.
Oh wow!
When the Brazil fans started cheering for Germany and saying "Ole" every time they made a pass, I was like, "Ooh, that's bad."
Who's next?
Anthony.
Right, the past ones, I'm going to say...
Age.
What, how old I am?
Yeah.
I'm 42. 42. The 3 pass players, I'm going to go Pat Jennings in goal. David O'Leary in defence. And David Brewcastle in midfield.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Rest in peace.
These are names I have not heard in a long time.
The present ones are, to me, is the 3 best strikers that's ever played for Arsenal is Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and Ian Wright.
Good shout.
Yeah, I like
and the host with the most.
I've not heard Relentless speak.
Don't say. I know you're going to say Nicholas Bentner, but don't, please don't.
He's going to say Nicholas Bentner, Marwan Shamak, and Philip Senderos.
Sagan.
Sagan.
You see, speak Relentless. Go first. Go on.
Remy Gard.
Relentless. Come on.
Glenn Helder.
How's everybody doing, man?
Yeah, we're all good. Go on, go for it.
Yeah, I'm outside walking my dog, so you can hear a bit of wind. I apologize in advance. But obviously, when it comes to the 3 favorite Arsenal players, I'm a bit on the younger side. You know, I got into Arsenal maybe 2010, 2011.
Yeah,
it's muffled.
You're muffled.
I can hear you, but it's just.
It sounds like you cut like you're muffled.
Yeah, he said Sylvain Wiltord is his favorite player because he won the title at Old Trafford.
Wiltord!
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking into a sock. Relentless.
That's Steven's job.
Oh jeez. Oh.
Straight off the bat, here comes the sock.
His rap name's Snoop Socky Sock, in it, Stephen.
Hang on, look. Is that for your missus? Does your missus know you're taking that? Does your missus know you're using that?
It's S for speed on.
No.
Anyway, Relentless, just curious, who is your 3 Arsenal players from your lifetime? Who are your 3 favourites?
Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez, Bergkamp, Henry.
Decent shouts.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned, actually asked the question. It said,
"Yeah,
who's the best United keeper
ever?" Van der Sar.
Schmeichel.
No, Van der Sar.
Are you talking Premier League or just overall? Because I think,
to be honest,
I would have to eclipse all of you and go and say the hero of 58. Yeah. I would have to say Man United's best ever goalkeeper is Mr. Harry Gregg.
I'd say Van der Sar.
But in my lifetime is Van der Sar.
He did more than say.
That won an international tournament.
Hang on, who is the only one?
Say that again.
Schmeichel's the only one out of them that won an international tournament.
That's true. That's very true.
Harry Gregg did more than just saving a football.
We save some people's lives. I'm definitely fucking. But how about we do this instead of just going with the United keeper? Why don't we go top 3 keepers and let's go around at all times? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what team. It doesn't matter. Top 3 of keepers of all time.
You're striking a height one.
Bring it. Bring it on.
Come on, go for it. This is going to be interesting.
Van der Sar, Schmeichel, Khan.
What do you call me?
Hang on. I need to come on my list yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh shit, my bad, dude. All right, go ahead.
Right. My list would be all time.
He's
What
been
I've
looking
seen
on
in my
Google, hasn't he?
lifetime.
Go
In my
hard,
life.
go hard.
No.
Edu,
my-
Edu, Ateta, and Vinay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my three biggest rejects.
Exactly.
Willian.
Yeah.
Willian's clearly your favourite, isn't he?
Luis.
Surely your favorite ever player's got to be Nicholas
If you
Bentner
put
or
if
Marouane
you put-
Chamakh.
No. Honestly, if
Gnabry.
my first my model three would be the one I've
Smith
seen
Rowe.
is Bergkamp, Henry,
Mhm.
and
Soccer.
You want to say Kolo
Uh,
Toure?
Oh God.
Nah, Ian Wright for me.
Adebayo.
That's my three. Those are my three.
I'm
that I've
surprised
seen.
none of you guys said Overmars.
Why would you?
It isn't
Uh,
terrible.
But
I'm sorry, but the dude disrespected Sheffield United. Was it Sheffield United that he disrespected? Like, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, was it?
but then
I mean,
all
come on.
time-
I mean, that
hang
was
on.
cruel.
all time for me it's Rocastle, Bob Wilson,
Alan Smith.
Charlie George.
Charlie George.
Oh.
Good shout, Charlie George. Good shout. Great.
I was
about
like,
Ian Brady?
Those three represent what Arsenal stand for me.
He had that great hippie hair, like the long thing going.
Oh
on.
yeah, it was one of those. They told me they told me not to grow it long, so I just grew it long.
I'm surprised.
Who's got a
I'm surprised
fucking?
no one has.
Who's got a rubber duck?
Ian Brady.
I was here squeaking,
Why
and
has
I'm
no one
like, he's
mentioned
got a
Ian
kid.
Brady?
Yeah, Liam Brady's up there.
He should be number one.
I know he's
Yeah.
Who's squeaking?
for me. I used
Sorry,
to,
it's my
I,
dog.
Somebody's got a rubber duck.
Yeah,
God, I the last show.
my bad.
I love it.
I used to
I love
be.
it.
I used to play as a goalkeeper as a kid. So Bob Wilson for me.
And Bob
Otherwise it would be
Wilson.
Lemon.
Bob Wilson is one of the finest gentlemen in football.
I've met him
And
actually
he's
because
just the best.
he
Top man.
runs a foundation called the Willow Foundation after his daughter passed away, and he works closely with the club, and they gave us exclusive tickets to go and also meet the players coming off the coach, and he was in the obviously the club part or the especially of the stadium, and he literally went to all his VIP guests and went, "Nah, sorry, I've got to go. There's someone downstairs I've got to meet." And they came all the way downstairs, coming to meet us. Then grabbed Charlie George, who was also doing his thing down there as well. So me, my dad, and my sister were meeting both Charlie George and Bob Wilson. And
Brilliant.
for me, my dad was like Charlie George. That was his era. So he was
Yeah.
gobsmacked.
Fangirling over there.
Interesting fact: Bob Wilson never wore gloves.
No, no.
Yeah, true.
Fucking nuts.
And he never lifted
Nuts.
the trophy either.
That's right.
Did he wear the double 71? Was he?
What
Okay.
a double 71.
Yeah.
What are you on
So,
I'm just-
so,
What?
so are you gonna?
Sorry, Renee.
I was like, so how the hell do you play keeper with no gloves? That's fucking nuts.
Spit in your hands.
Yeah, I know spit, but it's just not all the conditions that.
It will a level ball as well.
No,
I've got a genuine question for the Arsenal fans.
But-
in fact, this is going to. Who would you say
Just wanna say
is
one thing
Arsenal's
before
greatest
that.
ever youth player?
Greatest
Youth
ever youth
player.
player.
What academy
From
player
like, mm-hmm.
to come through?
Yeah,
To come through the
Ashley
academy.
Cole.
and
Ashley
make it
Cole.
for the first team.
John Radford.
Ashley Cole.
John Radford.
Ashley Cole.
I'll say Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole would.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Radford
Steve, you're
scored
Steve,
the
I'm not-
most.
Can I give a shout out to?
Radford.
I grew up with the Mersons. They just live around the corner from me. So
Yeah.
the Merson
Paul
brothers,
Merson, I was
Gary,
gonna-
Paul,
I
and
was
The
Keith.
reason I say Radford, he has scored actually, if you count all the goals even from the under 23s, the under 18s, more goals for Arsenal than Henry.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
That's including all the under 18s, under
Okay.
23.
Okay.
Oh,
So
you can also say
in an
Andy
Arsenal
Cole
shirt,
as
he
well.
scored more goals.
That makes sense, I guess.
And another one, I'd say the greatest ever youth player from Arsenal is Andy Cole.
No, I say Ashley Cole, but Andy Cole's another one. He's second.
I was joking, but yeah, we'll take that.
Okay.
Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Chelsea fans would somewhere credit Anelka as well, I guess.
He wasn't really a youth academy there, was he?
I know, but like in terms of making banter with us.
Yeah.
I think Anelka was well when he was in his youth. Anelka was quality for you lot as well.
All right, can I just name my quick goalkeepers because I've got to sign off soon.
Yeah.
Yashin, the Russian goalkeeper, is probably the best of all time, according to legends. And the two I'm going to say from modern day, I really like the guy at Bayern Munich now, the German goalkeeper. I think
Neuer?
Neuer. I think Neuer is one of the best, better than Kahn, and best of our era. And the other one I'm going to say is Schilvert from Paraguay. I think he would take free kicks and penalties and just the unit. For me, that's just my personal favorite thing. I thought he was brilliant. Just I'm gonna sign off now, but if I was to play football, Carlos Valderrama is my dream player. He's the best player. One of the best players. He's underrated. I don't know why I'm talking about him. He came to my mind. One of the best players out there in world football. He played in the MLS. You should know him, Rene. But yeah, Carlos Valderrama, that's how you play football. I'm out, guys. God bless you. I've got to get out for work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. God bless everyone. Great shit.
And you, mate. Bye.
So, all right, so we're doing keepers. Like I said, Van der Sar, Schmeichel, and Kahn. I don't know. There's something with Kahn though, man.
Can I throw Casillas when he was at his prime?
Huh?
Casillas when he was at his prime.
Oh, the man was amazing. Casillas was absolutely brilliant. Buffon, fucking Cudicini. I mean, Cudicini was outstanding for Chelsea.
No.
Yes, he was.
Oh, Cudicini was great. Remember he caught the ball and he let it flit under his legs. He literally went whoop.
I must say he was good in his prime. The older he got was fucking terrible. But
I think the problem with Kahn is that 2002 World Cup final where Ronaldo destroyed like Germany in a sense. If they won that World Cup, I think he would have been like right there at the top, and no one could touch him. I guess in more or less world football as a keeper. But because that final really turned it around for Germany, and I think they deserve to win. But unfortunately, you can't do anything about Ronaldo.
I'll throw another one in it. Dida.
Ooh, wow, that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
He wasn't great. He was, but he wasn't that great. But he has won a lot. He has won a lot.
My favorite was Tafarel, the Brazilian keeper. He lifted the World Cup. He was a cap. I think him and Dunga lifted the World Cup for Brazil in '94.
Dunga's my boy.
Dunga for me. And the Mexican goalkeeper as well that used to make his own goalkeeping costumes. You never remember him?
Yeah.
His own kits for goal. He made them. I've never heard anything like it in my life. And they always look really cool, like amazing kits. I like it. I like that.
Yep. Wasn't like he dressed up like he's wearing the curtains and something like that, like all of those.
Hector Bellerin should design his costumes, but Hector Bellerin was his designer, bro. I'm telling you, him and Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin's like the modern day version.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I didn't know that.
But at least Bellerin comes to work with his pants on. Like this guy was wearing anything and everything.
Hey, Grandma, do you need these curtains?
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned. I know not a lot of people are going to know about him, but Neville Southall.
Yeah, brilliant for Everton.
Fantastic keeper. Do you know what? He was a bin man. Neville Southall. He was a bin man before he became professional.
I like older teams, and funnily enough, my favorite goalkeeper has actually just been listed right there of all time. Sepp Maier is my all-time favorite goalkeeper.
Oh, Sepp Maier.
I feel there should be two lists in this. One maybe based on who has won how much, and one actually based on maybe how good was the keeper. So if we can do in that sense, then I think it would make more sense, because there are a lot of keepers that were maybe say, like we talked about Barthez. He's won the World Cup with France as well. But the thing is, when he came to United, like, what was the reaction overall? Like, it didn't work out for him.
It was like, what the fuck did we sign this guy for?
Yeah. So
I think if you base it on that, if you base it on that argument,
keeper, to be honest, wasn't he? He was a bit.
If you base it on that argument, then okay, so I would go.
I mean, honestly,
in terms of success, Casillas, Buffon, and Neuer on that perspective. But my all-time favorite three, it would be Van der Sar, Sepp Maier, and Dino Zoff. They're my three all-time favorites from, like, just in general. But Casillas is probably the best goalkeeper I've ever seen. I've had the privilege of seeing him live. I saw him at the. I saw him live at the Champions. I saw him live at the Champions League final in 2002 at Hampden Park, and it was a pure joy. Like a 19-year-old goalkeeper who, in my opinion, went on to become the best in the modern era. Like, I'll tell you that. Like, for me, he's the best goalkeeper in the modern era. Igor Casillas.
Even as he's gotten old, even as he got older, though, he was still like that quality of play for Real and for Spain. I think we didn't notice his fall off until about the 2014 World Cup, and then that's when the first game of the World Cup, and the Netherlands absolutely made him look like a fucking idiot. It was bad. Like, he was making mistakes he normally wouldn't make. It was just really odd. I think if any other keeper who would be, I think, on par with it that I didn't mention would probably be Buffon. Like, the man was fucking like solid at the back. Like, didn't matter how old he was, he still fucking went and did it.
Constant professional Buffon.
Yes, constant, like, just perfect. Like, every time. Like, it's just ridiculous.
But that Colombian keeper for Colombia who did that over
Higuita. Rene Higuita.
Can I spell what?
Wow, that was amazing. He's not the best keeper in the world, but I just things like that, like, they stand out to me. Like,
what about Troutman?
Roger Troutman. Who's that?
Bert Troutman. Manchester City.
Okay.
Manchester City keeper. He actually broke his neck and carried on playing.
Shit.
And he
was that the guy who broke his neck in the set? Was that the guy who broke his neck in the 70s?
Yeah. No, it was no. It was on the 70s. I think it was the Troutman. I think was like the. I don't know. It might have been the 1930s, 40s, something like that.
I'm thinking of a different goalkeeper then. I'm thinking of a different keeper then.
He made some unbelievable saves. That keeper, honestly.
It was Gordon Banks that when England won the World Cup, he played that final with a broken neck.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, can I just say something about goalkeepers real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite goalkeeper of all time. I've been saying this for like years. Is Manuel Neuer. The guy as a keeper, he doesn't have any weakness to his game. He commands his box. If you want a modern day keeper, like he can do anything. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's confident. Very, very good shot stopper. He can save with his legs, his hands, his flipping head. Like, this guy, he's an amazing goalkeeper. And for me, if you look at his resume, he's won every single trophy in football that you can possibly win. So for me, he's the best goalkeeper of all time, in my opinion.
He's a great keeper. Sure. It's nice seeing him though out there. Like, it's nice to see keepers kind of like come out of the box. I mean, obviously, as a defensive player,
you would never have got that if it wasn't for Valdez, though.
No, you're right. Like, but I mean,
I think Valdez started all of that.
But I mean, not everybody can do that.
True.
And keepers are probably, I think, one of the most clumsiest players in, like, as far as like moving and positioning, as far as going towards the ball, like challenging for a ball. It is fucking, it's awful. But
yeah,
when he moves, it's like it's pretty fluid. He's not really that clumsy. He's like, it's nice to see that, like, especially like even for United with Hendo, because De Gea stays back a little bit more. He's not quite as up, like a little more aggressive. Hendo's a little more aggressive as far as that goes. But like seeing that though, yeah,
I think what you can say about Neuer is he's a victim of his own success. Because you look at like the fact that like Neuer's been absolutely outstanding since 2011 when he got his move, when he got his move to Bayern Munich, and like from that season, like he was absolutely brilliant. But you look at the past couple of years where it's the same for De Gea, where they were absolutely outstanding, like season after season, performance after performance. They get an injury or bad performance, and then bad performances creep in, and you see it, and it happens. It happens to every top goalkeeper. Like the confidence goes, and Neuer's managed to bounce back. It's just unfortunate I haven't seen it for De Gea. But in terms of like Neuer, like the guy broke his hand, and yet the guy is still going like top performance after top performance, and credit to where he is, like how he's done all that.
I get the feeling it also depends upon the team, because Bayern Munich also like kind of rose back in Europe in recent times. It probably like now Manchester United has also done that to an extent in the Premier League, and it probably they win, and David Dyer is the keeper for the Europa League final, and you end up winning it. I think it could bring back all his confidence as well. It also depends on whether the team is doing well or not. If Bayern Munich continue to struggle, probably Neuer would be like, I've done what I could. I've won all the titles that I should be winning. Now, if the team isn't good enough, it doesn't matter. I mean, my career is set. I am a legend anyways. But because Bayern has bounced back and they are also doing well, they're playing well, and they have all the right things going on, I think Neuer has also then said, okay, now the team is playing well. All they need is a goalkeeper to contribute as well, and I'll get back to doing my job. And it will ultimately, everything works as a unit, and they're doing what they're doing right.
I agree.
Steven's vanished.
I think you guys bantered him too much.
Nah, man.
Yeah, I think it's messing around with internet.
No.
Van der Sar also scored in his professional career as well. There's been a fair few though.
Yeah.
There's been a fair few that have scored in the professional career.
I mean, Alisson scored as many goals as Willian.
But Steven, you do know that even like they were comparing his and Jamie Carragher's and who all other players with records, like who never scored a goal, or like it's been even worse than them. Like I know he's a defender, and there were I think more comparisons to other players as well. Like some good players who don't have a scoring, you can say, record at all.
I just want to check that actually. Go on, keep talking. I just want to check something.
Overall, I'm not saying that this guy was the best, but I liked the way at Inter Milan how he used to manage things or manage his backline. I used to like this keeper named Julius Caesar, but he didn't like have a long career. But but he was like a good leader, especially at Inter Milan. And maybe if he did more for maybe Brazil with respect to that, I think he would have had maybe a better status in football. But I think while remembering that game, Inter Milan versus Barcelona, I think he was the keeper at that point of time, and that was a crazy game. It was a crazy game, and they deserved to win that Champions League title with Mourinho.
There's a few goalkeepers in the mid-2000s that I actually liked. Two of them that stand to mind. In fact, three stand to mind is like up here, Stefan Klos. The man was an absolute machine. Even for Dortmund in '97, he was class. But the other two goalkeepers that, like from the 2000s that stand to mind for me is Canizares for Valencia. He was an absolute unit. And the other one is Ivan Toldo for Inter Milan. I thought he was a very solid keeper for Italy. He was just unfortunate, like Euro 2000, got put on his arse. But for Inter Milan, he was actually a very good goalkeeper. He was reliable. Like he was what you wanted in a goalkeeper. Like that's what I liked about him. There was a few of that era that you just couldn't help but adore. Another keeper I can't help but have respect for, even though he played for Chelsea, is Cech.
Yep, Peter Cech was a fucking beast back there. Fucking holy crap!
I think it's hard to ignore what he's achieved in the game. He's been absolutely brilliant. I think in the modern era right now, for me, like right now and where we are in present time, Jan Oblak's a goalkeeper I like. Massive respect for Oblak. Like one absolute machine for Atletico. Like his records each year for clean sheets. I know it's like Atletico, they play defensive football, but you need a goalkeeper that's actually good at commanding his box, who's able to maintain a defense like that, and he's done it for 3-4 years on the bounce now. Like so much respect to him for that.
I honestly feel like if Mendy can do it for Chelsea for like a few years, I think he's looking very good as well as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only time they've been losing is when Kepa is back at goal. So I think Mendy could be one for like a long-term prospect and who could be like a big-time keeper.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, can I ask the question to the panel?
Go on.
What's your thoughts on since we're talking about the 2000s? What's your thoughts on Jens Lehmann as a goalkeeper?
Oh,
One good season, really.
what did I think?
Thoughts, what was your thoughts as Jens Lehmann as a goalkeeper for Arsenal?
I thought one season he was great. One season he was great, but other than that,
yeah,
you were basically it was nah.
It was his fault why Arsenal lost the Champions League final.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think David Seaman was a far better goalkeeper for Arsenal than Lehmann was.
I mean,
the only difference is one was in the double season, the other was in the Invincible. But I think Seaman was far better.
He was brilliant in all the way up to the Champions League final, and then Champions League final let us down.
Yeah, I can give a very good current Arsenal example. It's like Pablo Mari versus Gabriel. Pablo Mari is like the stable-headed defender who doesn't generally lose his cool, and Gabriel is the upcoming one who's kind of rash at times. So Lehmann was the rash one, and if you compare, like Seaman was the stable-headed, cool-minded defender, in this case goalkeeper. So I think I can just give you that as a comparison between like how Lehmann and Seaman can be compared.
Yeah,
I think it was a level-headed one. Arteta was the rash one.
It's not about Arteta.
So out of the goalkeepers you've had since Lehmann, so you've had the likes of Almunia, you've had Fabianski, you've had Szczesny, you've had Martinez. One of your first out of the whole list, which one would you say is the one you should never got rid of in the first place?
Martinez.
Could be Martinez, yeah. But then Fabianski's doing well at West Ham, isn't he?
No, but Fabianski has a lot of errors. Fabianski, the thing with Martinez is he's gone to a team that was last season battling for relegation, and so bringing them to the top half of the table is an achievement in itself, and their defense looks way better with him at goal. Like, they have confidence in him. With respect to Fabianski, I get it, but I don't think it's only because of Fabianski that West Ham is doing well. It's because of what their overall play is, what David Moyes has done with that team, and so I give credit to Martinez more with respect to what Aston Villa's success is this season, and the clean sheets and all those stats also back me with respect to that, and the fact that he's now wanted by the likes of PSG and Atletico Madrid. If they're getting rid of their keepers, also shows that they rate him highly as well.
Yeah,
I generally thought you should have kept Martinez over Leno.
And who got rid of Martinez?
Is this Arteta in versus Arteta out show?
Just saying.
Yeah, but Arteta did it.
Hey, Steve, going back to this, do you know this Harry King? I read more about it. It says he doesn't want to go abroad. He wants to stay in the Premier League.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he goes abroad, I think his place in the English team could be a threat, threatened in the next 3 to 4 years, because that generally tends to happen. If you want to be part of the English setup, you need to probably be within England. I get that feeling.
So all I can think of would be Chelsea or Man City. Chelsea or Man City, then.
I don't think Chelsea will probably go for another costly striker at this point of time. I think
they'll go for Lukaku.
Yeah, but the problem with Lukaku is does he run enough for the Premier League's liking? That is the main thing.
He doesn't move for
He showed this year his work rate and the fact he is willing to run. Like, he showed it this year. I mean, it's the only difference about Man United is it was very rarely there, but at Inter Milan he's shown that.
I don't see him fitting into Tuchel's plans at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's
no way.
Tuchel wants him. That's the interesting thing. Like, he wants him as a striker.
Well, you know what?
Lukaku also needs service as well. Without service, he's just there. You know what I mean? He's one of those strikers who needs a lot of service. So I'm not too sure about that system. And also, he also has to change from a false 9. I think he might want a bit more of not that Lukaku's shit or anything, but he probably want a bit more of a technical striker, if you get what I'm trying to say, in terms of ones that can maybe link the play up a bit. Because I think Lukaku said in the interview that he doesn't want to be that type of striker anymore in terms of linking up. He wants to be that guy who's in the box, posting. He's also said that he wants to change the way he plays as well.
I can say something
now.
I can see this now happening. I said it. However long ago, Tuchel doing a Frank Lampard, buying himself a puzzle when it really matters and he has to deliver, and it all just imploded on him. I can see it happening. If he just sticks with what he's got now and works hard at getting them at it, look what they've done up to now, to this stage. Why do they need to go out and buy anybody? I don't get it.
No, they need a finisher. They need a finisher. Otherwise, they will lose games.
Hold on. Yeah, but listen, there's more value in coaching your finisher who's there at the moment, right? Getting him at it. So that player that you thought you was buying.
You can't coach
rather than going out and spending more money, right? Spending more money, bringing in another striker who may very well do the same. Then you're then scratching your head and scratching your ass with your other hand going, shit, what's happening here? No. If he's a manager that he's supposed to be, get Werner, get him getting his pick in his head up. I agree with what Monstar says about Werner. Pick your fucking head up, son. Don't just fucking shoot blindly. Have a look where you're putting the fucking ball. Simple as that. Why can't he be coached into that? Because at the end of the day, he's got all the other attributes that are working for the team. If he was to put a few more goals in, then bang. Did Chelsea really need, apart from Jorginho, of course?
No, they need a striker, because if Giroud is going and they don't rate Tammy Abraham to continue, I think they need one striker at least. So now whether
that's another thing. That's another thing is, like, I don't get these teams, and why are you letting Abraham go? I see some quality in that young kid. I really do. I know a lot of Chelsea fans won't agree, but I think with the right coaching, if there was enough time invested in him, then there's a player there. So why again risk? This is what Frank Lampard did. He did well with that squad that he had, and it was all working nicely. Tammy Abraham was scoring goals. Then all of a sudden, the confidence gets knocked because you bring in somebody else, Havertz and Werner. How does that affect the young kid's mind? It's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's fucked it up. He brought himself a puzzle, and like I said, he couldn't fucking solve it. And it was only because Tuchel came in, and I could see, with looking back at where who he'd bought, and had knowledge about the players, that he could quickly work out what he needed to do, and trust into them players to go out and do the job for him. And he's getting the benefit of that. So I always say, but you can't ignore what Frank Lampard put in place.
That's why I've been saying all season that Lampard wasn't sacked for performance. He was sacked about his comments he made at the start of the season about the Chelsea Youth Academy. He made comments about the Youth Academy, saying, "Well, we've already had a season with the young lads. Now we're just going to keep adding and adding and adding." But he was almost like dismissing their achievement. Like he actually blanked them. But you look at that, and that's why I think he got sacked. I don't think he got sacked because they were outside the top four. Because I think his first season where he's having to spend big money, he's never had that before in his life. So now he's having to adjust to that, and it never worked. So I agree. You spoke about puzzle. He spent too much money on positions he didn't need. They only needed a few positions to fill. And it got so out of control for him that he fucked himself into a grave. That's why he will not get a big job for quite a long time. If he had made those comments about the Chelsea Youth Academy, he would still be in the Chelsea job.
But the thing with Tammy is, again, I was bantering him before the start of last season that he's a poor man's Lukaku. But you need to see that he doesn't score against big teams. That is a fact. That was one of his major problems. The only thing that Chelsea fans could troll us was, but he scores against Arsenal. But I get that. But the overall performances coming in the big games were not there. That is why Giroud had even displaced him in the first team, and even last season. So the thing is, they need someone, and Chelsea fans and the management is not a patient one. They don't want to build a process or anything like that. They want a striker who is going to give them 30 odd goals in one season. So even if Tammy is going out on loan somewhere, they will still try to get at least one striker who will at least give them maybe say 15 or 20 goals in a season. And that is where I think if Tuchel is saying Lukaku, I don't think the management will say no. They'll say, okay, go get him. He's anyways top scorer of Europe.
I get where you're coming from, and I don't particularly rate Tammy Abraham. I don't particularly rate him, but what I will say is, like, he had a particularly decent season in the Championship for Aston Villa, particularly decent. He came up to the Premier League in his first full season as the main starter, and he hit about double figures. He was getting some decent goals there, but the competition obviously is. There's some players who thrive on competition. There's some players who don't particularly thrive off it, and then they regress. But the fact that he's still Chelsea's top goal scorer this season says it all. Like, he's still their top goal scorer. I think he deserves a little bit of credit, but he does need to work on some. There's something he needs to work on.
Yeah, but coming up, I remember something. Sorry, Relentless, mate. Go on, mate. Look at Chelsea. Let's cast our minds back to Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, and Lukaku. When they let them go, right? They are now in the same position, in my opinion, with Tammy Abraham. That kid, if they let him go, he is going to go somewhere and he's going to start ripping up trees. He's banging goals in left, right, and centre, and they're going to be like that, scratching their head, going. And this is the fucking thing. You're supposed to have those top coaches and all the rest of it, but as part of your job as a coach is to identify the talent and say, wait a minute, you're the owner. Yeah, that's true. You're paying my wages and all these other ones' wages and everything else. But I'm telling you, you need to give this kid some time and give me the time to get this kid at it, because he is going to produce for the club. Don't just go out and give me a load of money to go out and buy someone who might not actually do it. Just like this kid might not actually do it. Why go out and spend the money when I've got the kid here? He knows the club. He knows the system. Give him the time. Let me coach him. This is what you want to see. What Alex Ferguson did. Chelsea don't do that. That's not how Chelsea moves, though.
Yeah, that's not how they work. And a couple of just quick pointers. I need to drop out as well after this. Just a couple of things. The thing with the system is he knew Lampard's system. With respect to Tuchel, he's also new to the whole setup. Apart from the fact that he knows Chelsea as a club, Tuchel runs things very differently than Lampard. So he is also new to this whole thing. The other thing is, the thing with Chelsea, as Relentless would probably also agree with me, that what Chelsea does is they don't regret 5 years down the line if we have sold a player. If a player is not working for us now, we'll get in another player who will work for us now. We'll win a few titles in the process. And 5 years down the line, if he's firing for another club, good for them. If he's not firing for them, we already got a couple of titles in those 5 years. We are happy with the titles that we have. They don't have any regrets, like with respect to, I don't think even with respect to Kevin De Bruyne, the club will not have any real regrets, because look what has happened since the time they let go of De Bruyne. They have been winning titles in between. They won it with Conte, they won it with Mourinho. They will not be bothered about one signing going away. They are again in a Champions League final. It could hurt them, I'm not denying it. But the thing is, when they are winning titles regularly with this philosophy that they have, they wouldn't try to switch it to, like, let's start growing players, homegrown players, and let's start doing something new when they already are successful. If they were failing, like if they fail for 5 years, maybe 6 years, 10 years, then they may think of changing their setup and everything else around it. But because they're already getting all the success that they need, why will they even change it?
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, mate, but at the end of the day, it's just for me, how long is that going to last for? How long is Abramovich going to be willing to keep doing that? What happens when he leaves? What happens when he leaves? He decides he's had enough. He wants to go, I've had enough of this now. I'm going to go, see you. What then? Where's the culture of the club? What's the culture? You're going to have to spend fucking 300 million a season. Yeah, good luck with that, mate.
Do you know what started Tammy Abraham off? He's a good striker. I watched him play 23 times. He went on loan to my other team, who I support, Bristol City, and he bagged 30 goals in the Championship, right? And I tell you what, he was absolutely brilliant. He was fantastic. You know, the pace he had and all that. I know he's a different level, like dropping down a league, but I mean, he was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we all loved him down there, but now, I mean, if he was to go out on loan, we would love to have him down there. But I think since then, I think his wages has gone up. So I don't think Bristol City would be able to afford his wages. So it'd more likely be, if he does go out on loan, I reckon you might be talking maybe like a Norwich City has just come up, or a Watford.
Right.
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm going to have to end it there. Anyway, because I'm going for ages, and I'm going to be absolutely knackered in the morning if I don't get some sleep. So yeah, it's been long. It's been a great show. Actually, it's been a really good show.
It has,
and I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we could find a good one for next time. But yeah. Anyway, Matt, where can they find you?
First of all, thank you so much for having us on. It was a great chat as well. I'm glad to have like both fans, both rivals of the Premier League in the house tonight. Go check out SFeatleyTV. Do what you can. Every time you tune in and you watch the adverts at the start, don't skip, because if you watch them, it does help get that money for charity. So SFeatleyTV, go subscribe, share, like, and we are Football United TV. And go do the same with us. Good night.
Wicked. Reese, where can I find you?
You can find me on Twitter at United Venom 7. I'm mostly dealing with morons, and I just chuck the lethal injection to them. And if you're into gaming, I Twitch stream. So Reese _lightning 1997. If you're up for a bit of banter, but apart from that, Twitter's where you mostly find me.
Wicked. Nitish, where do I find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Beyond the Post on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And if you guys want to have a debate, I'm your guy, I guess. Big up.
If you want to end up pulling your hair out, that's the guy to go to.
He's our Texas defense lawyer. You can find me at the Relentless Sports Hub on YouTube. Talk all things football. Also talk some La Liga, some other leagues as well. And yeah, if you like football, just go check out the Relentless Sports Hub on YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wicked. Talk.
Yeah, on Twitter at iTalkMU. Find me on SFeatleyTV, Football United TV, the Man United Agenda, Rich Sports now and again. And yeah, that's it.
And Anthony.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. Also, you can find me on the on this channel, Stephen Featley channel, which is a good channel. People should be subscribing. Get the subscribers up, and also you can find me on United Football TV. You just seen him. He's a twat with a hat, and.
You got it wrong. It's Football United TV, not United Football TV. Bloody hell!
Yeah, come on.
I know. But yeah, that's what you can find me on.
Jesus Christ. There you go. Big everyone up as usual. And don't forget to check out Dugout Daily as well, Charlie's channel. Big up as well. And we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. We are doing a preview with Back of the Nests YouTube channel, Crystal Palace fan channel. We're doing that tomorrow. So tune into that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we've got the Liver Awareness show. It's a that's going to be a very, very difficult show to do. But I think that's at 4:30. It's about a very dear friend of mine. And you want to tune into that because that's going to be very heartfelt. And then, what else is there? There's something else in there as well. Yeah. And then we've got Chelsea versus Leicester tomorrow. Top 4 fight live watch along at 8 p.m. So, and that's after the jump. Yeah. What?
The Palace game, you're doing the Palace?
That's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, on Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be on Football United TV at 7 on Tuesday tomorrow with talking all about how shit Arsenal are and seeing if Marley has actually woken up and seen sense.
He said he saw Tucker out.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what he said, right? He's like, yeah, I give
I'm
him
going
up.
to ask him tonight.
No, he was tired of being his. He was tired
Shouts
of
out
being
to
his.
Marley anyway. Big up Marley anyway.
Big up Marley. And big
yeah.
up Renee as well, and a Monday as well that were in
Big
here.
up, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up Rennie.
Big
Yeah,
up
she did well.
Renee,
Yeah.
Big up Monday. Big up everyone that's been in this stream. It's been absolutely lit. But we'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, everyone, take care. Bye bye.
Ciao.